Okay.
So, and then
I
we'll
see
start when you
it.
guys are ready.
Just got the
We're live.
notification.
That we're live?
Yep.
Oh, you got
Me
me
too.
Well, you see. Yeah,
All my
hit
gadgets
like
in.
and subscribe and hit that little bell button on YouTube.
Yes. I just did. Oh, that's funny.
Isn't technology wonderful?
It is. Yep. It gave us a thumbs up.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that.
Now I'm going to share it. So exciting. All right. So what kind of beer do you have there, Sean?
Oh, this is the New Belgium Abbey. And I was just, I've been on an IPA kick for a very, very long time. I think since the beginning of the year. So when this came back out, available at my local store, which is a Belgian style Duple, actually. So I love Belgian style bitters, but I haven't had any probably in about a year. So when I saw it, I grabbed it up, and that 6-pack was not long for this world. So that was, in fact, that's the last one after, yeah. So it is all good.
I can't. I maybe one day I'll get there.
Uh-oh. Did she freeze on you too, Shannon?
Yep.
Oh, yep. One day she'll get there. And she's gone.
She's left the call. She's back.
I went away. Yeah, I'm back. That was weird.
Sorry. You were saying one day you'll get there.
Oh, yeah, because every time Mike wants me to like IPAs, and every time he gets me to take a drink, I give him that bitter beer taste. So I don't like it yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting better.
So what do you do? Go back to Keystone Light?
Pretty much, yeah. No. I do like a lot of the other beers. I like all the lighter ones, like blondes and anyway.
There's a blonde joke there somewhere, but I'm not going to try.
Don't mess with that one.
Yeah, no. I know better than that. I've been married way too long to step into that landfill.
All right.
Excuse me. That's crazy. It's all good. All right. Well, I know we're still waiting on Mr. Huffman, but we'll just go ahead and get started. And if he pops on, he'll pop on. But
no
you
doubt.
guys feel okay to get going on this?
Let's rock and roll.
All right. Well, welcome to the Killer Frogs, the podcast all about TCU athletics from the fans' point of view. My name is Sean Fouché, and this is episode 89 for real this time for April 10th, 2018. And joining me on tonight's panel are Shannon Brazil and the boss, Ryan Zeller. How y'all doing tonight?
Hello,
hey, what's going on? Everybody's good.
Yeah, we have a truncated panel. WC's off having fun with a client, and Wes, that sounded wrong. I'm sorry, WC. That was not what I meant.
Take it that way. Now I do.
A client is having some difficulties and requires WC's technical expertise. How about that?
I'm sure he'd rather be with us.
And I'm sure he would be. And Wes, we'll have an update for Wes here in just a second, but he's been through a lot this week, and tonight he had an additional test, 2 tests, I think an MRI and a nuclear test. So he was beat. Called me about an hour ago and graciously asked me if he could bow out, and we're like, of course, not a problem. Get better. But for those of you the last couple of weeks, because we weren't on last week, apologize about that. We did have a small little bit on YouTube to kind of explain what was going on. We had a lot of technical difficulties, which again, fans of the show know is very odd. Never happens to us.
Never.
No, we never have any technical difficulties. But anyway, so we didn't have a podcast last week, but I know a lot of people were looking forward to having some updates, especially concerning Wes's condition. And what we now know, it's been confirmed that Wes has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The doctor, though, was very happy with his surgery, so he was able to remove both the lemon size and marble size tumors in his brain. Apparently, according to him, they had really good edges, definitions. He explained a little bit more of that 2 weeks ago if you want to go back and listen to episode 88. But that has been come back as stage 4 cancer. But the doctors feel that the prognosis is good, that as long as he has, hey, Royce Huffman's on there. But as long as Wes just keeps with his chemo and his radiation therapy, they think he'll be able to beat it. So I want to wish Wes all the luck in the world, and obviously prayers and thoughts are with him. And but he'll be back on with us hopefully next week. Mr. Huffman, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. So I got all this trouble and this high tech stuff.
That's all right. We do too.
It's all good.
We didn't have computer classes or whatever.
I'm with you on that.
Get here, but anyway, it's a pleasure to be talking with you guys and fellow Horn Frogs, and
Yes,
great day in the neighborhood. Outlook for the Frogs looks real good.
Sure does.
yes,
Amen.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Amen. Well, we're gonna go through a couple quick housekeeping notes, some news items, and feel free to jump in anytime you want, and we'll run through a couple things here. So we'll start off with the spring game, which happened in winter.
Yeah, the coldest game in years.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've never seen a spring that cold before.
I even saw snow flurries. I'm not exaggerating, but there were little bitty snow flakes. Yeah.
They had them over in Dallas, so I'm pretty sure they headed west.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember somebody on the board said, well, maybe it's just preparation to play Ohio State, to which they had to be reminded, we're playing in a dome.
Dome?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get to the Ohio State fiasco later. But yeah.
I was about to make a comment. If they open that ceiling for $100 a pop and we're not playing in good weather around that time of year, there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
I put like this, whoever set that deal, something wrong with them. No comment on.
Well, it was an interesting weather system that hit us. But Ryan, you were out there at the spring game. I know there was a running clock, not much contact, but from what you did see, give us a bit of a report.
Well, I don't have the eye for football like you guys do, so I watch from like a cheerleader's perspective, and I will say it was a lot more fun than last year's. I mean, there were some awesome interceptions that got the crowd going, and it's hard because you get excited, but then you're like, well, crap. It's very weird. You don't know. It's kind of like you don't want either side. You want both sides to be really good. So it's almost better if you have a boring game and they just kind of stay on the 50-yard line, because that means maybe they're both awesome. But it wasn't really like that. The defense just did awesomely, and it's exciting with the interceptions. And it was just way too cold. And a lot of the what's his name? Bozen, is that the one I call Bozen with the hair? You know, he wasn't suited out. Another one of the quarterbacks wasn't suited out, so they're just trying to be careful. And it was good. It's only an hour long. There's no PA system really. It's just like watching a practice. So it is what it is. So they look good.
Well,
I think
good thing about that, what I've heard about the situation is you're not going to get very many calls. I mean, it's basically they're to protect the quarterback. I heard Sean took some, he threw some picks because he was just trying to fit some things in. Kind of, it's still scrimmage. You kind of work on your game. You try to make it exciting, but some of the throws he made, he better not be making on Saturday. But when you can go against your own defense, you practice against them. You know their weaknesses. You know their strengths. So I heard he tried to force some balls in on the corner route, stuff like that. And
that shows confidence.
Yeah.
Right. So, he's got to be able to take those. This is where you take those shots. This is where you get in there and say, okay, I know, I'm going to try to make something happen. It's learning, and you're still going against one of the top defenses for about a series, and I heard they marked the ball.
Though, the defense knows exactly all the plays.
They know all the plays. Exactly. Exactly.
You know the routes. Come on.
Right. Yeah. And listen, I heard exactly that. The linebackers are playing pass first, not runs. They know that, nobody's going to hit. So it wasn't really fair.
Well, GP wants the defense to look real good.
Always.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anytime you're up against a Gary Patterson defense, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what was really interesting? I think the one thing that we noticed was how many staff they had walking around in the stadium making sure people were not videoing. I mean, they were calling people out. Like, they would tap you on the shoulder and tell you to shut it down if you're videoing, or they thought you were.
Wow, that don't shock me, but that's a first.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
So we got the email through the media, so we knew, no phones, no taking pictures, none of that. So Maybe that was our warning, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
No drone flights. I'm sure they probably had snipers sitting up there by the media press box, right? Waiting to see if somebody was going to try to fly one into the stadium. But
Royce, what have you heard about this spring, Big Royce?
Well, I think, the good news, we got, I heard Sean look, pretty good. But the good news, we got depth at quarterback. We got depth at running back, and things look very, very positive. That's what I'm saying. And the defense, we win by one. So you remember, that's all we got to do.
That's it.
I hope we don't have a whole lot of games where we win by one. I hope we win by a lot more than that, because I don't know if my heart can take another season like that.
Yeah.
Worried about, we got the 2 games that we should be 2-0 playing Ohio State. Then right after that, we played Texas. That's kind of a, that's be tough for us.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, speaking of Ohio State, Shannon, as a season ticket holder, what do you think about those prices for the Ohio State game?
Listen, this is how I feel about it, and I don't know if it's definitely, but I hear there are 100 tickets, $100 a wop for the highest level, and you got
$100 for the HD TV seats.
So, as alumni, that's for me and my wife. That's $250 for the night. Now, guys, when you're a season ticket holder and you go up every your seats and all that kind of stuff, which I get it, I understand that part, but that should be a home game for us. That's a game that I shouldn't have to, I feel like I get cut short, because now I have to go to Jerry's World and play. I believe they should see us in our own environment where things are rowdy and let all our fans come out and get a chance to purchase tickets. Ohio State's going to bring the house. We understand it, but it makes for a great environment at our place, not Jerry's World. And so
where they won the national championship.
Right. And I feel like, because of the pricing, we may lose fans. I know we're going to lose fans. And so it really doesn't become a home game for us. It's going to almost probably look like Oklahoma, the Big 12 championship, to be honest with you.
So I have a comment about this, and it is funny because there's both sides of this. It's we all understand it was a financial reason. Ohio State didn't want to play us twice. We don't want to play them, and so it was just easier to meet at a neutral site. Thankfully, at least it's in Texas, and that you're going to charge the going rate is for those tickets, which 2 years ago it was Alabama and Wisconsin, and I don't remember what it was last year, but it's always a big game, so it's kind of cool to be a part of that mix. And it's like TCU fans, I keep hearing this from my friends of mine that didn't go to TCU, and they just listen to everybody gripe on Horned Frog Nation about the tickets, and they said, y'all are the bunch of cheapest rich people we have ever seen. So, I was like, not all of us are rich, but you do have a point. So,
but you have a good point. That's what
you're going to get all those T-shirt fans that are Ohio State fans spending out the wazoo for those tickets, and you've got basically millionaires, griping about the seat tickets just because we're so spoiled that we've
they say over. You got pretenders over in Dallas who look like they're worth $50 million. You got the people in Fort Worth look like they're bums off the street, billionaires. It's what it is.
I'm always like, my summer vacation. People are like, what do you spend on TCU? I'm like, pretty much my summer vacation every year is spent on TCU football. We don't go on the big elaborate summer vacations because that's the bowl game and that's this game. So
right.
But yeah, the weird thing about it is it's hard because we're doing it because Mike is from Ohio State, his whole family is, so we're in, and my parents, their priority is pretty high, and so I was like, God, we'll probably get stuck with those $500 tickets. So I was like, we're going to do it. And so we are. That's just hard not knowing what you're going to get, Ugh,
think about it. Most of us will probably, it's football time, beginning of the year. You start smelling. We're going to be there, but it's like, man, to cut that ticket, it better pan out. That's a game they better win that for us. We got to have a victory.
Yeah, and then you get to pay $20 for popcorn.
Yeah. There's no doubt we'll fill the stadium. We brought a lot of noise against organizations that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
How
Well,
did
the
they?
LSU game was pretty well attended too, but
It
then again,
was.
tickets weren't,
They were half
$150
the
for the
price.
nosebleeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're talking nosebleeds. I'm like, man, you're basically watching the jumbotron.
yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
you basically
TCU's big time now, though. We could charge that
We're
for
big time. Hey, big time, man. That's when you know you made it. $100 tickets.
Sure.
I remember they were 10.
I remember they're free.
Or they were giving away.
Yeah, please come to these games.
Exactly.
I'd rather play Ohio State out in the heat,
Me too.
Mhm.
They were
Me
not
too.
used to that.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, no, I would rather have had them at our place. I mean, to heck with the money. We talked about this beforehand, but I mean, goodness gracious, Del Conte was looking at dollar signs. Fine, I get it. It's like a $4 million shift, but in our favor, to play at Jerry's World. But like I said earlier, I mean, Del Conte could have just walked into a room, flashed a smile, Derek Zoolander look, and got $4 million bucks. I mean, you could have, it could have happened. It didn't have to do it. But, it would have been great to see him at Amon Carter.
Well, to your point, we missed an opportunity to show people our environment on national TV. That's more of a bowl game. We see that. We understand bowl game atmosphere. We show up pretty well when it comes to that stuff. But we missed an opportunity to show, all the other naysayers, whoever else, our environment when a big team comes in, how we show up, how we play, and let them make their choice whether to come to our house or not. But I just think that's an opportunity that's missed. Jerry's World is not our environment. That's not that's not us.
Shannon, I agree with you.
That's on a more serious note, but hey, it is what it is.
Well, and the other part of that too is I was really looking forward to going and experiencing a game at Ohio State. And I'm sure the players were too. And they love getting to play in different stadiums. And that's a pretty remarkable place to play in. And I feel like it would be somewhat of a recruiting tool to say, this is who you're going to get to play this season. You're going to be able to experience their huge, massive fan base and stadium. But yeah, so that part's
Royce knows this, even from a playing standpoint, you do, but from a tailgate and all that, we look forward to seeing other stadiums too. I'd love, as a fan, showing up in Columbus. I mean, that's their environment. I want to see their environment just as much as playing in it.
Oh, sure.
So that's a treat for the kids that they miss.
Clemson. When I went to Clemson.
Right.
Yeah.
Great environment.
Yeah, everybody still talks about that Clemson game, how nice the fans were. That was one of the best experiences next to the Rose Bowl. So I missed it. I'm sad I did.
Yeah, it's one of the things I miss, as odd as it sounds, all the different conferences that we've been in since the Southwest Conference was all the different places we could travel to. Obviously out of necessity because they were in conference, but I mean, between, the WAC and Conference USA and the Mountain West, I mean, we had a lot of really cool places to go to.
Sure.
That's true.
Obviously a lot of really bad places to go to. I mean, I don't know how many people would love to go. I mean, I have family in Wyoming. That to me was great.
Hey, it's better than Lubbock.
Okay, you got me there. It is better than Lubbock.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You're absolutely right. I've got nothing there. Got nothing. You're right. It's better than Lubbock.
Oh. All right. Well,
That's good.
Fans, come out to that game. You can still get tickets if you don't want to take your chances through TCU. Just get on StubHub. I think they're going for about $120 in the nosebleed seat area anyway. But yeah, get out there. Let's have that half full of purple people. So
yeah, June, July, those tickets on StubHub are going to drop.
Probably, yeah. And I'll go ahead and put it out there right now. KillerFrogs, we'll be having a tailgate. We're going to rent an RV, and we're going to be in the RV lot. Yay! And we'll get beer from RAR, hopefully, and some whiskey out there, and maybe we'll get some of that barbecue and have a good old time out there. And just about, 5 months? How much? What is it? May, June, July? Oh, yeah.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
I'm sure Big John will be there. His big pit, ex-Letterman.
Oh yeah. Oh, we need to set it by them. That's what we should do.
That's for
no doubt.
Yeah. Fun.
No doubt about it. Are we there?
Sorry, guys. No, sorry. I think I froze on y'all for a second. My turn to have technical problems.
The New West.
Well, at least I'm not covering my microphone every time I talk.
All right.
So, well, you know, the Ohio State game, I think everyone's looking forward to that one. Obviously, would have loved to have it in Fort Worth, but in any event, go out there, and if you got the means to buy the tickets and you don't mind paying the price, it's going to be a heck of an experience. So why not?
Yes, it will
and
be.
For those of you who are balking at the prices, again, wait till June or July, because usually those ticket prices are going to drop, but don't expect them to get to like budget prices, because this is going to be a hot ticket. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But, you know, like Shannon said, we've arrived. So some things you have to expect.
Aww.
Speaking of arriving.
Look at that.
Good night. Love y'all. Good night. It's night time. We got star test tomorrow, so everybody's got to go to bed early.
Oh, God.
Oh, is that tomorrow? Wow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Focus time.
Man. Wait. How old was she? I mean, she has a star test too?
Well, she has a start. Everything they do, we have her do at her daycare. You know, so she feels like a
I was gonna say she looks a little young for star testing.
Yeah. I'm her report card. Her nanny's Miss Tiffany. So I tell her, hey, Miss Tiffany, better give me a good report on you too, or you're grounded like the rest of them. So we gotta be fair around here. Gotta be fair.
Parenting tips from Shannon Brazil.
Oh man.
Oh, that's great. Well, talking about growing pains, let's talk about baseball.
Oh man.
My favorite sport.
We did break the losing streak this weekend.
Yeah.
So there's a bright side. Unfortunately, though, it's been a rough couple of weeks for the baseball team. Ryan, you were out there. Were you out there on Sunday?
I did. We ended up, I couldn't go Friday, and then Saturday they postponed it to Sunday. So I went to the third game, and we won it, and it was a great game. I will say that I haven't seen us lose. The last game I got to go to, we won. So I have not been a witness to our losing streak. I prefer to just put it out of my mind. And we looked good, I thought. We're just right on the cusp of see my cat. Right on the cusp of being a great team. It's just, I guess, with the freshmen and they're just not gelling yet, because there were some line drives hit that the shortstop should have caught. I mean, they're great hits, but still, that's your job. And there's some things that happened out in outfield, and our hitting is good. It seems like it should. Our hitting last year was not that good, but our fielding was really good, and our pitching was really good. It's like they're not all. One's not making up for the other if one's not clicking that night. You know what I mean? It's just, we're just right on the fringe of being amazing, but I don't know. We'll see what happens the rest of the season, but they're still great, just not what we're used to.
Well, in baseball, you've got to, be ready at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's what's most important.
You're right.
Everybody ready to, get after it for the playoffs and the championship run.
I hear you. Yeah.
I was kind of mentioning this earlier. I think we're kind of finding ourselves in the same position that West Virginia was last season or season before last. Can't remember which one it was, where they kind of got hot at the end of the season and made a really good run in the tournament before they lost to TCU in the championship game. But I hope we can do enough between now and then to make it in on our own as far as the regionals, but we may need to have a really good showing in the Big 12 championship with the way that this team is kind of up and down.
Yeah. So this Tuesday, y'all are probably listening to the podcast on Tuesday. Tonight they play back out at Lupton Stadium against UTA. And UTA is always a good team, so everybody come out and support the Frogs. I think the weather's going to be beautiful.
What was it? Their baseball coach or their basketball coach that they just fired?
UTA. Well, surely not their basketball. They almost made it.
Yeah,
I can't remember. It was somebody. Everyone was just kind of like, "Whoa, where that came out of left field." I can't remember which one it was.
Well, let me Google.
Wow. You Google. I'm having internet problems. I can't do
that. Hey, Gracie.
It's a new computer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I had to go and switch computers tonight, and that's my problem.
What'd you get? Which one are you on?
Well, I had to get a new MacBook Pro because my other one just was on its last. My other one was like 5 years old. I mean, it kept freezing on me, and I went ahead and bought a new one. But
this one's freezing on you too.
This one, I tell you, I'm
about to say
I'm
it's frozen on you right now.
You sound like an alien from outer space.
It may be backlash from my end.
No, it's not. He was doing it. He was doing it before you got on. Okay, I Googled it. The first thing that comes up, it says the University of Texas at Arlington has fired head men's basketball coach.
Basketball coach. There you go.
Jeez, y'all. Scott Cross, director of athletics, Jim Baker, announced Monday. Wonder what happened because they're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
doesn't help us in baseball, but
right.
Yeah. That was a bit of a surprise. Because they are. I mean, they've been. I mean, given the conference that they're in, they do really, really well. So
yeah. I mean, they had to beat us last year to get into the NIT tournament. I remember going and watching them play at UTA, and they were really good. And then, or no, they didn't play TCU. I just remember going and seeing them play. They were really good. And then this year, I thought they were they were all right on the cusp of making the NCAA tournament, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. That's too bad. Oh, well, moving on.
Oh, well.
Happened.
Yeah.
Poor UTA.
Yeah.
But we'll be playing UTA in baseball on Tuesday. So that'll be a good game. That'll be a good game. Hey Ryan, I didn't know they canceled the game on Saturday because of the
because it was cold.
It was cold.
But it was just as cold on Sunday morning.
They canceled because of the cold. Wow.
That seems a little odd.
It was supposed to have precipitation Saturday night, but they took that out of the forecast like the day before. And I don't know. I guess they just figured. I don't know.
Can't play baseball in cold weather?
I guess not. I don't know what the full reason was. But I meant to say though, Kyler Murray, right? He's their new quarterback, and then he also plays center field. And that was kind of cool. It's not very often you see a player playing two sports, right, Royce? So that was pretty neat to see. The game I saw, he did not get a hit. But center field, he didn't get a ton of action, but a little bit. But it was neat. I thought he was going to be a lot taller, but he's really not. He's not even 6 foot. So
I think he's 5'10".
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was neat to see him. He seems like a really good guy. So I'll be excited to watch him next year. And then I'll throw this out there. Hopefully, somebody from the baseball facilities listening. I was standing in line. We took our nieces and nephews through the line to get the autographs of the posters. They do that every Sunday after the game. You can let your kids go through. You can even borrow a kid like we do and send them through so you can get your own autograph poster.
Well, you borrow a kid?
Then you tell the kid at the end, you're like, all right, I'm going to take you to Walmart. You can get any toy you want if I can have the poster. It works every time. Anyway, so but I was standing there. Good. This mom was walking through with me, and she was dressed in all OU, and she asked him, she said, is it okay if we go through? In the late, there were not very many kids there at all. And she said, just this time, since your kid is wearing TCU, because usually they won't allow you to, which I think is fine. I think that's a good rule. But I thought, that's pretty special when the other team wants to go through and get autographs by the other team. And she said, I'll hand it to you. She said it to me 3 times. She said, this is something TCU does well. I'll hand it to him. This is pretty neat right here. And then of course I threw up all over. I was like, oh, and this is what else we do. They do it every Sunday. The football players do this, and
the cheerleader came out.
Yeah, it is really special. And then they're all talking to the kids. They're very they shake the kids' hands. They're teaching the kids manners, and then you get down to Coach Slosh, and they're all just into it. I mean, they do it every Sunday, and they're at the end of the game, end of the weekend. They want to be going off and finding their girlfriends or going to a movie or whatever, and they sit there and enjoy it with a smile on their face, and it's pretty special, and we appreciate it. So thanks, baseball, for doing that every Sunday.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that comes from the top down. Coach Slosh is pretty adamant about the way that he runs that program and the way that his players need to behave and interact with the fans. It's just a class act all the way around.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Well, speaking of another class act, we should probably just briefly talk about women's basketball.
Nice segue.
We all love Coach Peebley, and so there's still tickets available for Wednesday for their women's banquet. And
it's this Wednesday. So if you're listening to this now, it's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
the 11th. So yes, tomorrow. Or
Tomorrow.
if you waited and listened, then it's today again. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, you know what we're talking. You know what we mean. So it's a good opportunity just to come see the girls all dressed up and meet their families and just see them be girls instead of athletes and eat some really good food because TC is going to do it up nicely, and Reagan will speak. I'm sure athletic director will speak. JD, and then it's also the tickets are $40. You can just call up to TCU and get them, and you can also donate $40 because. And I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but I know when you call that they tell you that
this is for a good cause too.
It is. I believe that the parents can't come for free. And I don't know if that's a rule or NCAA rule or I don't know, but
I would imagine it probably is. It has something to do with
NCAA rule.
Okay. Yeah. So but the good thing is that when you call to get your ticket, you can buy two. If you only need one, then that other ticket goes to one of the girl's parents, mom or dad or sister. So even if you're not going, you can call and donate a ticket, which it'll go to a good cause. So
what time does it start?
Do what?
What time does it start?
Oh, okay. It is TC Lady Frog basketball banquet. It is what? I Googled, oh God, I pulled up 2003. How does that happen? Hold on. Unbelievable. Somebody Google that for me real quick. How does that pull up?
Now watch it. It actually happened like yesterday.
Well, I can tell you that it is. I have it on my calendar. I'm going. But I can tell you back in 2003, the tickets were $35. So they've only gone up $5. So that's a good thing. All right. I went to gofrogs.com and it brought up the wrong one. Hold on.
6 o'clock.
It is. Okay, yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
And it's the room off of it's the Schlomeyer banquet room, that really neat, cool room.
Right upstairs in the blue.
Sorry, hold on. That was not correct either.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's not. It is. No, you know what? I pulled up the same 2003 one that you did as well.
I don't know why. You search it, that should not come up.
That's on Go Frogs. For some reason, that keeps coming up. Number one is Go Frogs. So that's on there. That's their fault.
It is. Let me see. I'll go to Twitter. Twitter never fails me as long as I can remember how to work it. Let's do women's basketball. Sorry, y'all.
They don't even have it up on Go Frogs.
No,
that's crazy.
Wow, guys, Go Frogs! If one of you guys were listening about this, get your act together. What the heck is going on here?
I got it. We'll post it up on KillerFrogs.com and on our Twitter and our Facebook. But it's TCU women's basketball.
I got it. 6:30.
Banquet, 6:30, April 11th. It's at the Ed and Ray Schlomeyer Arena, the Stewart Family Courtside Club. Y'all, that's a really neat place, and it's not a place that normal people get to go. So, it's
normal people.
I mean, I guess I could say poor people, but I'd rather just say normal. So,
yeah, we were just complaining about the prices for the Ohio State game.
So, if you're a part of the Courtside Club, I forget what they call it, but then you get to go there during halftime. It's really special, and you can tailgate in there if you buy those tickets during football season. But it's a really neat area. It's pretty, and like I said earlier, TCU will do it up well. So you should come, and it's bring your kids, let them experience that evening. So
yeah, if you're available and you're not at church on Wednesday nights, go out there because support the team. They need as much support as you can give them because they had one heck of a year.
They did. Yeah, they did the NIT tournament and almost going to the Final Four. That's a heck of a deal. So very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was nice seeing both men's and women's basketball end on a really good note this season.
Sure was.
Yeah, a lot of sports programs are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Tennis has been doing really well lately. I know beach volleyball had a little bit of up and down, but that's still a new sport, but we're still kind of feeling it out. And they seem to be doing really well on that. But overall, I think it's been really nice the last couple of weeks. Last couple of months. Heck.
Yeah. I'm about to say, yes, sir.
Been really good. So, But yeah, get your tickets. That's going to be on Wednesday. It starts at 6:30. You can find it on the Twitter account for TCU women, their basketball. So if you've got Twitter, if you've got the Twitter, you can go to @TCUW basketball, and you can find out information there and follow the link and go ahead and tickets. Since GoFrogs.com seems to not have it up, so
come on, Go Frogs!
I know.
And you just wear your best purple. It's business casual purple. Everybody in purple.
Perfect.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. Speaking of players that are moving on, Shannon, why don't you tell us a little bit about Pro Day?
Well, Pro Day I heard was a success. A lot of guys did really well, actually. And I was sitting there counting. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's like 15, 18 guys. I mean, that's a lot of guys for TCU from where we come from. And now I guess it's the norm nowadays I believe we're putting the most athletes at all the Texas schools. But I'm sitting here looking at the list. I'm like, man, I remember our senior year, Royce can probably remember this, where we had the most guys up for the draft in TCU history at the time, because before that, it's been, 40, 50 years, Royce, since TCU did anything to even get recruited. And so, or I should say, to be in the draft for that matter. But the guys ran, the overall word was that they did really well. I said a lot of guys, for Hicks, I said he ran a faster time than he did at the combine, which was good. I heard he was hurt, actually, should have been running. And his uncle is actually a track coach of mine who's training him. And I told him, I said, brother, if he's hurt or any kind of muscles on something's wrong with his hamstrings, he shouldn't run that. He should just go ahead and gear up for the workout here at the house. And they did it anyway. And he said he didn't run a good time. And he came back and he ran a 4.640 here at the he actually ran a 4.5. He ran a 4.64 in Indianapolis. So he improved his time. Boynton and Howard had a really good workout. They said those guys were solid. Everybody's hitting their numbers, but I guess the shocker to other people, not really the shocker to us, is Takata and Howard. They ran really fast. It's not a shocker to us. But all in all, there's a ton of people there. A lot of the athletes come back as they do every year. It's really a great atmosphere nowadays to see at TCU, because all the other players, to see those guys come back who's in the NFL or been out in the NFL, to come back and support the new guys. It gives them a sense of peace, a sense of, okay, I belong there. We belong there because our family's there, kind of thing. But it's pretty cool to see. And then Gary, I guess he hosts some at his house every year for the guys who come back. So, and I saw the pictures on Twitter and everything, and everybody seems to have a great time. So it's definitely something we want to start covering every year. It's getting bigger and better every single year. And as long as we have more than 10, 15 guys going in every year, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Frogs are going to start taking over the NFL. So, and it's really cool to look up every week and you see somebody make a play that you may have forgotten about, and they call from TCU or from, Horn Frog. I mean, you perk up a little bit like, man, we got frogs out through the NFL right now, which is great to see.
What does that
it's
equate?
Awesome. Excuse me?
What does it equate to? Good seasons at TCU.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. So it's good to see, exciting to see as you follow these guys as they come in as freshmen, and then now they're basically interviewing for the next level, and especially when some of their stories and know where they come from. It's exciting. I can't wait, and I wish these guys the best. And I know a lot of them nowadays they'll get looks, so that's the most important part. They'll get in the camp.
Mm-hmm. Where did Sean go?
He's gone again.
Turned into the logo.
We lost.
We don't know what to do without Sean.
Backlash for my computers and stuff. It has to be.
Royce, your computer's doing wonderful compared to the MC, the head MC.
Well, since Sean is gone and left us hanging, Royce.
Well, Royce was the next topic anyway, so we'll jump right into it.
All right. Go ahead, Shannon. I'll let you. So,
Royce, you're old time. One of my questions for you tonight, buddy, and I've known you and I've actually played with your kids, especially Royce Jr., that's my man, and me and your oldest son played against each other. He went to Rice, obviously linebacker, same position, so we become really good friends because of that. But Tell us how the old TCU, your time to where it is now. You're obviously you played there a lot longer than I did, way before. I've seen the growth. I've seen the change since I've been there, but you've seen the change, the big change, right? So give us your thoughts on then TCU versus where we are now today.
Well, let me say this. When I got there, you played freshman football, and you played 5 games. And I brought it, still have it. When you're a freshman, you had to wear this little beanie.
Oh, hold it up high. Oh, I love
wow.
that.
That's cool.
That is so neat.
I can't get them.
Look at you.
That's nice.
Okay, that's because you're Wogs, back then. And you played Thursday night. And then the next year, I played with Coach Fred Taylor. And he was fired. And then then Coach Pittman came in, and we were going to have a pretty good team. We had Raymond Rhodes and Urban Garnett and Larry Dibbles, Hodges Mitchell. Hodges Mitchell went on to be Mac Brown's roommate at Florida.
Wow!
Yeah, we had a pretty good, substantial team coming back. And then anyway, Coach Taylor got fired. They brought in Coach Pittman, and those players left because Coach Pittman wouldn't allow facial hair.
Wow.
So they left.
Wow.
And then that year, we were playing Baylor, and he passed away in the first quarter. And then, told us at halftime, and he passed away. And then we came out and beat Baylor. And we came and had a 6-4, and I think 6-4-1. We were 5-2 in the Southwest Conference, and I believe, I know the only teams we lost to was Texas and Arkansas, and we beat all the rest. And then Coach Tohill took over the next year. And then after that, the season, I think from 1973 to 1983, we might have won 18 games. That's basically till Wacker came, and they went 8-4 and went to the Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Yeah.
And I got to be the host then, but TCU's come a long way. I'll show you one other item. It's old school. This was we were when Pittman, Coach Tohill came in. We were the Lavender Hill group, and I still have. I don't know if you see the color, but
I love that.
Jerseys.
Wow.
I love it. I need to make a copy of a picture that you have in that uniform, because I wish they would bring that back. I love it. I think it's beautiful.
I don't know.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all right, buddy.
No.
Look at that.
Hey, Royce, did you leave that in the washing machine a little too long?
No, it's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, I can't get this on anymore.
Okay.
Royce is picking up a lavender jersey.
Wow. That is so neat.
Was that your jacket?
Was
that your Letterman?
Pittman's deal.
Gosh.
Anyway, so no, I've been a Horned Frog all my life. My dad played there, and I got an opportunity to play there, and then my sons got a chance to play there, and then my biggest move though was to they just built the Rickle Center.
Yeah.
Me and my roommates, we were on David McGinnis and Tookie Berry. We had to finish your scholarship. You already through playing. You had to help with the freshman team. So we decided after practice, we'll walk through the Rickle Center. It just so happened the DGs were playing, and there was one girl on the front line that I saw, and I said, I got to go out with her. And
the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. 43 years, April 12th.
Oh,
man, congrats.
Okay. This Thursday. Congratulations.
I had to ask her out 3 times. She wouldn't go out with me. Finally, she asked.
Now, where did you guys go on your first date?
Oh.
And don't say the pit.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was the DG Suppressed Desire Party. I still remember she was a flapper girl and I was a gangster.
From Lamar.
Yeah.
You weren't wearing lavender as a gangster, were you?
No. It was all like that. And we even got married in a TCU chapel, man.
So,
oh man,
I love that.
So no, it was TCU's been, we've been. I mean, I've been fans from day one. I was even in the 1961 game when we beat Texas and Sonny Gibbs and Buddy Isles. So
Buddy Isles.
I go that far back, So,
yeah.
And like I told Shannon and all them other guys, the rebound to me started the Sun Bowl when those guys played and beat USC. That was a great day in 1998 to beat them, and ever since then it's.
Had to look back.
Have it, no doubt. But anyway, no, it's a little bit different, the football back then and now, and they would even a little more. It was fun. We got we traveled a lot. We played back then, Penn State, Notre Dame, Washington.
Wow.
Let's see, Purdue was my first game on the road. Trying to think who. Indiana.
That's big time ball.
Oh yeah, we played, but it was fun. But it was a lot of fun watching you guys play and your kids play. So anyway.
So what were the conferences back then?
It was the Southwest Conference.
And then what were the other ones that y'all, the other big ones? Because I know, SEC.
Oklahoma State. How do you mean out of conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma State. Let's see, we played Tulsa. But the bigger were like say Notre Dame, Penn State, Purdue, Washington. We went up and we played them up there. It was kind of fun deal to go up to Seattle for the first time, and because most of the kids back then, myself included, it's kind of one of our first airplane rides we ever got on.
Was it Braniff back then?
No, it was Pan Am, and we they let us do it, but we had the blankets. We took some of the blankets, and they said take them, and we used them to black out the dorm windows at Daniel.
And they probably had the little ashtrays still in the arms, because remember you could smoke on flights.
Oh, no doubt. But
times have changed.
We lived Tookie and Dave McGinnis. We lived on the south side with 3-man room, and then and Lyle Blackwood and Frankie Grimmett and Ronnie Peoples lived on the north side, and it was kind of a fun. Dorm life was fun, just like everybody knows,
Yeah, so fun.
I don't think it changes. You're right.
No, it changed. Just the names.
Right. The name and the year.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt.
Go ahead.
So you said your dad went to TCU, you went to TCU, your two Chad went to TCU. Royce, what happened to Scott? How did his ass end up at Rice?
Well, Scott was he was offered there. Then they changed. Sullivan was fired, and Francione came, and then Scott. Decided to go. They offered it right. Charlie Rizzo was the linebacker coach, and and as you well know, he does hold the at the table that they and his brother. And
so the story behind that is we didn't beat Rice until our senior year. Rice had a 3-1 record against us the 4 years I was there, and so his brother, Scott has the upper hand, for the. He has upper hand, nothing to it. But it wasn't until our senior year where we all came together as captains, and we said it that week. We said, bottom line is if we beat the hell out of anybody, we're gonna beat the hell out of Rice, and we drug their butts too. We was like, enough's enough. So our senior year, we went and we rolled them, but Scott does have the upper hand against us, though.
He's married to a TC girl, and
he's a frog to me.
And he's a big. He's a little sponsorship in there. He's OmniView Windows and Doors. Windows and Doors, we have him. So
he's the man.
Yeah, and then Royce married a TCU girl. So Chad's the only one that he's the only one that didn't marry a TCU girl, but. She's converted, and she's converted Horned Frog. She's
converted.
She's converted. She's big time purple. So, and
no doubt about it.
You want this? You'll want this, Shannon.
See, he's got some goodies.
I got stuff.
Oh my gosh.
You got to put that on.
I like it.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, got this made for me in Mexico on a trip.
I like it, man. Dang, bro.
That's awesome.
Wait, is that a wicker hat?
Yeah, they painted it.
Man.
You did a good job.
Oh yeah,
Man.
That is a wicker cowboy hat painted up TCU. I love that.
See, I would order that tomorrow if I could find it online right now. I would order that hat.
Oh, it might be hard. It's a rare.
I know. That's real deal.
That's right. I tell you, I've got so much TCU stuff. This is even older than that. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 1938 championship program. Look at that.
Look at that. Signed by Davey O'Brien.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Aldridge.
And you're just holding it. You're just.
I know.
Put that
Like
in glass.
in a shadow box or something.
Oh yeah.
Hey, open it up. Let's look at it a little bit.
Lick your fingers through the pages.
Look at that. Oh.
Wow. Man.
Football champs 1938.
Jeez.
Cool.
And what's that thing worth? It's got to be worth something.
I think let's see.
The Sugar Bowl trophy.
Here's a picture of TCU Stadium in 1938. If you see it,
it's full.
Yeah.
Look, there's people there. That's awesome.
Anyway,
no doubt.
But they're all West Siders.
Stuff like that.
Griping about how much their tickets cost.
That's right.
I got stuff all the years, and then I even got. They were getting ready to throw these away, but I said, "No, you're not. This is way back when. This is. I have to hold it up.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
flag.
These used to fly over Avon Carter. These used to fly over Avon Carter Stadium, all the Southwest Conference schools, and they're getting ready to throw them away. And I had to grab.
No, I'm so glad you got that.
Man, you got a vault over there, brother.
Oh man, you know I got plenty. Mary Lowe's said I may have more purple shirts than Dick. But that's a lot. So anyway, now we've we're all Horned Frogs, and it's all been fun, and especially these last since 98 and even in baseball when it's all fun. So
it's true.
Anyway.
Because you're on both sides of that. Speaking of baseball, you've had Royce who played football, and he was a double athlete there, and he went in as a Hall of Famer. Royce Jr. as in football and baseball, and then Chad is still playing. So tell us how proud you are with their success, man, because they did big time stuff and still doing it.
Well, it's just been fun, and like I say, you just throw some footballs and some baseballs in their crib and hope for the best. But one of the toughest meetings I ever had, though, was when we went in. Coach Patterson called Chad in myself about if he's going to play, come back for football or not, and that was a rough one. But it turned out great. Andy Dalton did. Look at him, did a hell of a job. So, and Chad helped recruit him, so it's all good.
Yeah,
all good.
But you just gotta guide your kids, and don't push them, and have a good time. So,
I actually heard Gary talked about that. He told us, I don't remember what event we were at, but it was sometime when we got to hear him speak, and he told the story of your son, and it was at a press conference this last year during football season, and he told that story. It had to do with somebody was talking about whether Gary, encourages kids to go into the draft early or stay. And he said, it just depends on the kid. And then he started talking about your son, about Chad, and told that whole story. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was a good story. So it all worked out.
It was kind of scary at the time when Chad called and said, "Hey, Coach P wants to see us right away." And you walk in and there's Coach Winder and Coach Schultz and Coach P there. But it turned out no, and things have changed so much. All the new dorms and and the people, the excitement. It's it's awesome. It's great to be wrong.
Hey,
Definitely
Royce, I
don't
got a question
recognize
for
it.
you. and you guys may have already covered this while I was having my problems, but you were playing during that 1971 game when down in Waco, right? With Coach Pittman.
Correct.
What was that like? You guys, because Wes has told this story before, where Coach Pittman unfortunately passes away, either right in the second quarter or right in halftime.
Right before half. And I mean, he hadn't been in the spring training a bunch, and found out later that he might have had some issues then. But when he hit the ground, I mean, it hit hard, and we went to halftime, and they told us at half, and we came back and beat Baylor, and
wow.
we had a great record.
What was that like in the locker room? So I imagine that's an experience like none other. I mean,
total silence, total reverence. Everybody loved Coach Pittman, and to see that happen, while you're playing is it's traumatic, no doubt.
Wow.
So, but I mean, and then like I say, Coach Stohill came, and I believe, Coach, you think about this. I think when he took over, Coach Stohill was only about like 32 years old as a head coach.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but no, Coach Pittman came in with a new philosophy, new, seriousness. So that spring training, I don't know the exact number, but probably 40 plus athletes left. Because the spring training was like, it was rough. I mean, it was full contact all the time. No, and say, it was people leaving, at the middle of the night, and different.
Getting out of Dodge before the sun come up.
Yeah. Hey,
wow.
That's it. Like I say, we had a great group of guys, and but like I say, Coach Pittman brought a different feeling of of football and education. He made everybody get up at, no matter what, you'd have to be at the breakfast table at by 7:30, even though you didn't have class, to check in. And you'd run. I mean, it was different. It was pretty physical. So, but like I said, it was very, very tragic because he had brought from Texas, and then he had a great year before, Tulane before he came, and there's great expectations, for Coach Pittman, and which it happened, but fortunately it ended short for him. But anyway, it was definitely a sad moment.
So we're a couple years away from the 50th anniversary of that game. What would you think if TCU were to come out and honor him with wearing lavender jerseys for a game that season?
I think we should.
That'd be awesome. Good suggestion.
I don't know. I think that'd be awesome.
I guarantee you that Nike would make that jersey. It'd be the highest.
Yeah,
they want that. Everybody want that jersey.
We'd all buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Might be a good idea.
I don't know. I think that'd be nice. I think they need to do something about that. But where would that be? Where would that Baylor game be? Would that be home or away by then?
That would be. Let's see. So we're playing at Baylor this season. That would be home. Yeah, it would be home.
Yeah.
That'd be the 2021 season. So that'd be would be home. Odd numbers would be home.
I think it'd be right and just to honor him on that. As a former player, and there's still a lot of us around that come to games all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be something special for that time. I don't know about the lavender jerseys.
I love them.
They were nice. They were different.
We got to make that happen, because that would be amazing.
I'm gonna have to talk to Blackwell about see what we can't do from the Letterman side of things.
Well, I tell you, we got 3 years to make this happen. So letter writing campaign begins now.
Yeah, I don't know. Just think how a lot of the older guys did like some of the black jerseys. You remember when we first came out?
Right. We wore them.
I
They
didn't
were all
like.
black.
A lot of guys like that, that lavender jersey when that came out. But
That's original.
but,
Black was
the
never
real,
there.
that 70s, that was kind of like the,
That's cool.
the wildflower, the hippie kind of.
Well, I tell you what, Royce, every time I've ever seen a photograph from that era, that lavender looks terrible. What you just picked up and showed us,
That would be awesome.
yeah. So in person, it photographs terribly, but in person, it looks a whole lot nicer.
Yeah,
And I've noticed, like, I just bought, I think it's in my car, a lavender TCU cap. I loved it. And then I just bought a lavender TCU shirt in the bookstore. So I think they're trying to test the waters to see if people will buy it.
Let me say this: whatever you do, whatever you think about doing, don't say this is any of my idea. Coach,
we won't tell anybody.
This came from my mouth.
Yeah. I see how that conversation goes right now. Hey, Coach P, Royce Huffman said.
No.
Well, I hope he don't listen to the YouTube other channel.
Talk to Coach Dixon, James. Let's try it out in basketball first.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, you got to think about that for the title of this podcast for tomorrow.
Back in lavender.
Yeah, back in lavender. People will be like, what does that mean?
Okay, no.
What does that mean?
So we got to hashtag it for the young ones. You got to hashtag back in lavender.
There's too much excitement going on here.
Oh man!
But like I say, it was a fun experience, and like the lavender deal. Oh, you need to squash that, baby.
I love it.
Well, it'll just be for one game.
It would be just a retro, retro game when they bring back the old jersey. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, but given how superstitious Coach P is, who knows?
Ooh, hey,
that's a big hurdle to get over. So.
It is. Hey, and it'd be that one game now. That's
a
big game.
Yeah,
maybe we just honor them at halftime, and the player, whoever comes back, they get a lavender jersey, and they can walk out at halftime. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll do it that way.
There's a lot of people show up. There's no doubt about it. There's a bunch still living around, Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I bet they do something. They're usually pretty good about that.
Hopefully they do. Well, we got 3 years to bug them about it. So we'll...
let's wait a while.
Hashtag do it for Royce.
No.
So Royce, I know we're all fans. Our expectations. Everybody's different. Of course, we want to win. But what's your expectation of the upcoming football season? What are you looking forward to? We got some holes to fill. We got some, a young quarterback. We got some, we got an O line. We need to, see what we have there. What's your expectation? Being that we are kind of...
John did get some playing time.
Yep.
And with the coaching staff we have, and I think that the games we got to worry about. I think Texas is going to be improving.
Mm-hmm.
Then West Virginia has always been a
thorn.
It's a down the wire.
Yeah,
that's unfortunately, not unfortunately, but Coach Ferguson's a good friend of mine, and I love beating him though, because
no doubt.
But I think that Tech's improved a little bit, but overall, I think we should have a great season. I mean, those first, the third and fourth games could probably really dictate how well we do down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were Ohio State, Texas, but I think after that
good thing about the Ohio State game, they have a new quarterback as well. So I think we're about even on the quarterback play,
right?
With them having a new quarterback as well, young quarterback, and I don't know how much playing time he received, but maybe I think he had a little bit more than Sean. But I think we'll be even there, which makes for a great matchup, right?
Right. Is there any way Jerry's World can put some humidity in there and some heat?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no doubt, right? We'd be used to it by then.
But no, I think we're going to be. Look, we're gonna do well. I mean,
well, it's time to win it. We spoke about it earlier. I said we've arrived. I think we've shown the naysayers we can play with anybody in the country. It's time for us to win the Big 12, and it's time for us outright, and it's time for us to get into the playoff. And I mean, that's the expectation for me.
Right.
I just feel like we've done everything we need to do. We're tired of proving ourselves to people. I know we've had slogans, prove a point, and make them believe and all this. Well, if they don't believe now, it's because they just don't like us. I mean, our track record speaks for itself. We can compete with anybody in the country on any given day, and that's what we know. If you look at our track record and who we played, preseason games, whatever, non-conference, and what we've done in bowl games,
right?
We've just about won them all, or at least competed on a level to be like, okay, these guys are for real. So with that being said, I just feel like it's time to win the Big 12 championship and get into a playoff run and make some noise for the playoff.
Right,
for the national title. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's going to be. I think they'll be pretty tough again. They always are.
Yeah.
We're Oklahoma, but other than that, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on our little championship game yet, but how we do it. But
I'm with you on that.
It is what it is. So
it is what it is. We're at least we have one. I know they were crying about us not having nothing, and now we have something. But we'll.
Yeah, and then the rules changed again.
Yeah. Well, that's how they do us.
Rules.
That's how
we don't need any rules.
So that's how they do us. That's how they do us.
That's it. He's off again. I know it had to be my computers, and I had to use my music.
Nope. It's not you. I promise. It's not you. You're not the problem. I guarantee it. We always have issues. I think it's just Google. So no worries about that at all. I will say that people are listening because I've just gotten tagged on Facebook with Fear the Lavender pictures.
It's spreading.
It's starting now.
Well, one year we were decent. We beat everybody but Texas and Arkansas. Going,
There you go.
So,
right.
That was the last winning year, 6-4-1 since and we beat A&M every year till 1984 for the Blue Bottle Bowl.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So anyway, they had some down years after the Lavender, but I don't know. I don't think we need to bring that back. That's old school.
I don't know, Royce. That hashtag Fear the Lavender is kind of growing.
Maybe it's new school.
No,
yeah.
No.
History repeats itself, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I never thought I'd see Nintendo come back out, but it's back out.
Atari's back.
Atari's back out.
I don't get any calls from Coach P or JD or anything from you guys promoting something.
Hey, you know what? We all, for a couple of years, moaned and groaned about bringing back, the old school TCU. They won't bring back the
flying tee.
Flying tee. Fine, whatever. But they did bring back a lot of retro stuff, which I'm liking. So good for them.
Right.
We had a TC. It was you can't see it was a TCU intertwining back then.
Yeah.
That's the old 1904 logo.
I've seen the logo. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's not the one. A lot of people are thinking it's the one that we use in baseball, which is just I think the T and the C. But if you go on KillerFrogs.com, go to the forum and check out my avatar. I've actually got that 1904 logo I scanned off of the 1904 yearbook. Actually, it's on the front cover of the yearbook.
Cool.
They didn't use it very much after I think the teens. So in the 1920s, they started changing that. So, but it's an absolutely gorgeous hand created logo, and it looks like I'll be honest with you. I think it's the logo that our baseball team should be using. Period. It is so classic. It looks a lot better than that Twins kind of style logo that they like to use.
The TC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love our football uniforms we have now. They're the best. I don't think we need to change them.
Yeah. Wait. Now, which uniform are you talking about, Royce? Are you talking about the black one, the white one, the purple one?
I like the black one. I like the purple. I like the all white.
I like the white
uniforms I love them. Let it be written. Let it be done. We don't even change.
So no leather helmet throwback day for Royce.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
I still like Fear the Lavender. I don't know. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm about to start
I got one for you.
on KillerFrogs, so y'all support me in this thread. So
All right.
where did Shannon go? What did he do?
Oh, he said he had something and then he ran off. At least I think that's what I heard. I don't know if my computer is still glitching or not. So
Hey, don't be starting threads like that now.
We won't tie it to you.
nobody will know. Nobody listens. It's okay.
Yeah, that's not true.
It's just between us.
I know better now. I know better.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. For all you thousands who are listening out there, shh, keep it a secret.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Royce did not start this.
Well, Royce, since you brought out some of your stuff you used to play in, and I thought I'd bring some things out. What I used to play in, buddy.
Are you for real? Is that for real?
It's a helmet, but it's I didn't play in it, but I figured he had a couple toys. I'd bring some.
Yeah, look like that.
Is that a Nissan logo on the front?
Sponsored by Nissan.
Hey, don't laugh now. My grandsons go to Country Day, and Scott started this 7-on-7 football league.
Yeah,
and they wear those type of helmets for the 7-on-7.
I forget what it was, but I think Nissan they did something. They sponsored us, and so they gave these TCU purple old school helmets. I got a couple of them. I said those are neat, so I grabbed them.
They are neat.
But I thought about all the good stuff you were pulling out your closet, man. I was like, man, mine's not quite as old and retro yet, but it'll get there, I guess.
It's a good look, Shannon.
There you go, man. I couldn't imagine playing this stuff.
Look at how SuperFrogs changed.
I know.
Yeah. It was Addie the Frog, and Johnny. Got to give Johnny grace. He's the one that redesigned SuperFrog. I don't know if y'all know Johnny Grace.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, he's the one that redesigned SuperFrog. So.
Well, I liked the one back when I was in school with Royce. I liked that frog. He was cuddly. The one now,
the one with the big giant eyes, the buggy eyes.
Yes, I loved him. Okay, I will say the one now they've done a better job. Oh, I got a funny story. Oh, look how cute!
What is this?
Belly. It's like a Buddha belly.
They would talk about us if our frog looked like that for real.
Oh man.
But y'all remember
Royce,
year?
I have a feeling like we could mention anything and you're going to pick up some sort of paraphernalia and just kind of.
I know.
I got so much TC stuff that you can't imagine.
We should just do a podcast from his house sometime and walk through with a camera. Everything.
The Royce Huffman TCU Museum.
Yes.
Sorry, Ryan, you were saying about SuperFrog.
Well, I don't know how appropriate this is, but I remember one year. I know.
It's a good way to preface it.
It's sometimes scary having podcasts because you never know who you're gonna make mad. But y'all, one year, I'm not kidding. That frog looked like a porn star. Like he was all just. We were just like that frog looks scary.
Let the record show for people who are not actually watching us that she's talking about muscles.
Like
right.
Yes. I mean, it just didn't. We were like, he just doesn't look like a horned frog. But anyway, and they changed him after like maybe 1 or 2 seasons, and now I like the guy now. I remember a few years ago the horned frog tumbled, like did round off back handsprings, because I think they have like several horned frogs obviously that play it. And one year one of them could tumble, and I thought that was pretty remarkable because I don't know how hot it gets in that thing, but down on the field it's hot. Our players are hot, and that frog has got to be. It does have a fan.
The big blow up one that blows up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is hilarious.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He wasn't there last year, was he? I wonder what happened to him.
I think that fad's kind of run its course.
Did he get punctured? I love him.
And that's just like those lavender jerseys.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think the little frog.
Good tie back there, Royce.
I think it's someone's kid that plays a miniature horned frog, but it's a real person inside of him, inside of the uniform. I saw him at basketball games this year. Have y'all seen the miniature horned frog?
Mini frog.
It is Mini Frog. He's pretty cute. He dances and everything, so pretty cute. Yeah,
Hey,
we do have a cool mascot.
I even had somebody make me a paper mache horned frog.
You still have
How's
that?
that look? Pretty cool. You still have it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where?
Why wouldn't he?
Why not?
No, yeah.
Oh, wait, so you have a paper mache horned frog. Did you like fill it with candy and hit it with
Go
a
get it.
pinata, or what is the?
Oh my god!
He has it. He has it. Look at this.
That is so neat. Look at that.
Dude, that's awesome.
No
You
way.
got more.
Man,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
like that's like the '50s style kind of like
I love it.
varsity sweater kind
It
of
was
look.
Yep.
used my friend of mine. So, matter of fact, his daughter's going to come to play soccer at TCU. Just got a scholarship.
Wow.
And her
Good.
granddad,
Awesome.
her grandfather is a famous athlete from Baylor, Don Truel. You have to look him up because he's real old. But his granddaughter's coming to play at TCU next year.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think I met them. Didn't you bring them to the game last year? And they were in the suite. And the son, it was the father, the mother, the son and daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did mean. Okay, gotcha.
Did both our parents go to Baylor too?
I'm not sure.
I
know she did. I don't think he did. Sure.
Okay.
He's
Wow.
a dentist. But
Oh,
it was
he
all
is?
legal. I've known him for a long time.
That is so
He's
neat.
in
Cool. So now we're gonna get the Baylor people wearing purple. That's awesome.
Yeah. He did it.
Better than green.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a fun evening. I appreciate
Oh,
all the candor.
sure.
Well,
Anytime.
we appreciate you coming on and putting up with us, and all of our chances or hopes to bring back lavender. So
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
We'll see what happens.
It's going to happen.
that sounds like a challenge.
It is. Royce, thank you so much. It was so nice
Oh,
nice having you. We
appreciate
hope you come back again soon.
It's great being a horned frog.
Well,
It is.
before we let you go, though, I've got to ask this. You mentioned you were a gangster. Now I know your gangster name. I know your gangster name. Let everybody know what your gangster name is, so they know what to call you from here on out. Because it is his name is Roy. He was born with that name, but that ain't the name we call him. So what's your gangster name?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Daddy.
Hey, Shannon, since you brought that up, I just want to let everybody know, I read KillerFrogs all the time, but I'm not the Big Daddy on KillerFrogs.
Let it be known.
let that be written. Let that be done. That's not me.
There you go.
We will do that.
Wink.
We appreciate you, but I appreciate you coming on, man. It was fun. Love to have you back.
Yeah,
Royce,
definitely.
really appreciate that. And
Frogs.
well, and with that, we have reached the end of the podcast, and I want to thank everybody who's been listening to us out there. And for those of you who haven't seen us yet, we do actually broadcast this live on YouTube every Monday night, starting around 8:30. So if you want to jump on YouTube and watch us sometime, we'll also have participation in the live chat. You can go and get on there. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. We're pretty much available anywhere podcasts are found. We're also on social media, Twitter and Instagram at @killer_frogs, or on Facebook at facebook.com/killerfrogs. Of course, you can go on killerfrogs.com and sign up for a free account and join in the discussion of TCU athletics with the rest of us knuckleheads. And with that, we have come to the end of the night, and it's a time where we all get our frogs up and we get to say,
Go
Frogs.
"Go Frogs!"
Yay.
You guys did that
Good night,
without my camera
everybody.
on. How about that?
All
Hey,
right.
all right, appreciate you guys. All right, Big Ross. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Night.
All right, take care.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.
Fear the lavender.
Bye.
Later.